Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Mark Mosey Show podcast as we're broadcasting from the Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Take back control of your life. Call them today and you get more details on Anidjar and Levine on my website at markmoseyshow.com. Now we're going to continue our conversations all this week with high school football head coaches here on the Space Coast. And this guy, not only is he in the playoffs, he's deep in the playoffs. This will be his third game in a row. He's head football coach there at Space Coast. He is Jake Owens. Coach, how you doing today?
Mark, I am fantastic. Thank you for having me again, man. Appreciate it. Love being on the show.
Yeah, it's interesting where other teams here in the county, they're getting ready for opening games. You guys have already won 2 playoff games. So what's the ride been like so far, winning some games here in the postseason?
It's been crazy. You know, obviously, that's what I love about our conference, man. We don't mess around. We get right into it. We don't play a preseason game like the other conference does. So their preseason week is our week 1. Yeah. So those games count for us. So we're basically 2 weeks ahead of them. Last week I think their conference does a bye. It's like a added week just in case there's makeups that need to be done. So that's why they're 2 weeks behind us. But yeah, man, first round, we're the 3rd seed. First round was a battle at home against a 6th seed, a very good football team in Coral Springs. That defense stepped up, made some big plays, and we won. We won that one. And then obviously this past week we had to go on the road to the number 2 seed in Frostproof, who has been a perennial powerhouse in the state of Florida for decades. This is a team that won 3 state championships in the other conference, in the FHSAA. Last year in our conference, it was split up basically like a 1A and a 2A. We won the 1A state championship. They won the 2A state championship. So it was basically the battle of the state champions in the SSA Atlantic. And we came out on top 42-21 last week. Going on the road is obviously never easy, but our defense made some big plays when they needed to, and our offense was just clicking on all cylinders. Our quarterback, Zion Sandy, threw for almost 300 yards, rushed for almost another 100 yards, threw for 4 touchdowns, ran for 1. Our running back, Braden Cook, had 4 total touchdowns, 3 through the air, 1 on the ground. Caden Thomas, who is one of our excellent receivers, returning guy from last year, he had 8 catches for over 100 yards. It was just one of those games where we got everybody involved on offense. The offensive line did an outstanding job protecting and pass pro and run blocking as well. We had almost 500 total yards last week on the road against the number 2 seed. So we were very, very excited about that. We had a big interception in the second half from junior fighter, who again helped flip the momentum of the game. And then Cole Gamble, one of our other seniors, had a huge sack that kind of sealed it all. And man, it was just one of those games, like I said, where everybody showed up, everybody played well. We had one of our young guys, Charlie Williams. He had to step in at linebacker. He did an outstanding job at linebacker, and also on offense. He had like 70 or 80 total yards on offense too. So everybody just stepped up and played great football. You have to do that when you're on the road, Mark, especially in the playoffs, especially against a perennial powerhouse like Frostproof. But we're excited, and we're already on to the next one, because the next one is an even bigger one as we go on the road this week to the 1 seed American Heritage.
Okay, I want to clarify something. That was a great answer. And in case you don't know, Coach is also a sports talk show host on the side. So I don't even have to ask questions. You know what I'm going to ask. So you answered 3 questions. I didn't even have to ask them right there. That was great. I wish all my guests were like that. All right. that was a big win for the program. Big
Yeah.
time, getting 44 points. What was that locker room like on the road after, and maybe even the bus ride back here to Brevard County? What was that like, Coach?
Yeah, the bus ride was fun. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been down that way. It's about it's over 2 hours, about over a 2 hour bus ride. And bus ride back was a good time. I'll be honest with you, about the last hour, I think it was pretty quiet. Everybody's, the adrenaline started to wear off, and everybody's trying to get some rest. It was a long day, obviously, but it was after the game. Our guys from the run that we made last year. We have so many guys returning from that group. It's one of those things where we've been there. We've won big games these past 2 years, but winning a game like that, you're right. I mean, that's a statement win for our program. And again, it's one of those that'll be very memorable. But we try to get our guys, win or loss, we try to get them to move on to the next one. And our guys have done a really good job of that this year and last year. Obviously, we have these past 2 years we've won 20 plus games, and it's not easy to do that. You have to be able to move on to the next and focus on the next one. And we tell our guys all the time, we're just going to go 1-0 every week. We're going to celebrate it that night, and the next day we're going to start watching film on the next one and getting ready for them.
Well, you guys have only had one loss in the season. It was early, like September against, was it Astronaut? Who'd you guys lose to?
Astronaut, yeah.
So it's interesting. You guys have been on this long winning streak. Long. You bring up your quarterback. Oh, he's throwing 4 touchdowns. My receivers, my running back. Is that the standard for the Vipers? Hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what we want to do on the football field if you come play us Friday nights.
Absolutely. Yeah. We had won 8 straight before that Astronaut game going into last year. That was a game, that Astronaut game was a game that we definitely felt we should have won. We did not play well the first half. Those things happen. Sometimes those are teachable moments. Sometimes, those are moments where, they help propel a team, and, it can go either way type of thing. And we've won 8 straight since that Astronaut game. Again, that was a game that we all had circled. We know we should have won that football game. We didn't. They beat us, and we had to, just like a win, we had to get over it and move on to the next week. And obviously we've been able to do that, but that is the standard of this program now. I think everybody that's involved in this program understands what the expectations are now. We've become one of the top teams in this county. We have, player-wise, stat-wise, we have quite a few guys that are right there at the top leaderboards of every player in this county. We have some of the best players. We definitely have some of the best coaches. And again, that is the standard for everybody that's involved with the Vipers football program now. Is we expect to go out and win every week. We don't care who we play. We don't care where we play them. We're going to line up and play football, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a team that is going out there expecting to win every single week.
We're here with head football coach Jake Owens with Space Coast, the Vipers. Now, all right, we are taping this on a Tuesday. I know, and this can be updated any minute once I post this. I know you guys, I'm looking at my stats here, you're at American Heritage. Now, we're not sure if the game is Thursday or Friday. We are going to have a game, right?
Yeah. Oh, we're definitely going to have a game. We are definitely, it's obviously, being a regional final, us being on the road, we're trying to figure out how we can work this out. I guess they're having issues with officials down there. They're towards, they're pretty close to Miami. So, they're having a hard time getting officials, and we're just trying to work this thing out. Obviously, the magnitude of this football game being a regional final, the winner goes to the state championship. It's something that we want to make sure is beneficial for both programs. So, yeah, we're definitely, it's on. Trust me, it's on. And I'll obviously update everybody once we figure out the day and the time.
Okay. Give us the sky report of this great football team from South Florida.
They're good all around, man. They got players everywhere. Their quarterback is a kid, doesn't turn the ball over, spins the ball well, can make all the throws. They have athletes everywhere. Their front seven on defense, they play well. They get to the football. They rally to the football. They're able to run the football as well. They got 3 running backs stable, just like we do. I would look at them and say, size wise, they got some big guys. They play well. You could tell they're coached well. Obviously they're also a perennial. They won state championships in the other conference as well in the FHSAA. So just like Frostproof, this is a team that has perennially been good over the years, and we definitely we have a task. But I tell our guys, everybody has to play us, and we are a good football team, a really good football team. Again. This game is going to come down to, and I know it's coach speak, but it's the truth. When you go on the road, you can't turn the ball over. You have to be consistent on your drives offensively. You cannot go 3 and out. You got to be able to move the football and collect as many first downs as you can. Again, these are 2 great offenses. Our offense and their offense are both extremely good throwing and running the football. So, again, I think they probably have the same game plan. They're going to try to make us 3 and out. We're going to try to make them 3 and out, and play field position and do all those things that you hear every coach talk. But in a game like this, with the magnitude like this, you have to be efficient on offense, and you have to play good defense, disciplined football, where guys are fitting the run like they're supposed to be fitting the run, and no breakdowns in coverage. And obviously, the biggest part of all of this is special teams. We gave up a special teams touchdown last week. We haven't done that since I've taken over. I can't remember the last time that one of my teams has done that, but we had a breakdown. It happens fast, especially when you're playing a great football team like Frostproof that has guys all over the place that run 4.4s. We have to play better on special teams. We got to get down the field. We got to tackle. We got to be able to flip the field position. We got to make our kicks and do all those things. So, but again, like I said, we are a really good football team too. And I tell our guys all the time, like people have to play. They have to play us just like we have to play them. I'm sure there's angst on both sides, and that's what playoff football is all about. It's going to be exciting. We're going to try to go down there and put on a show. And we've been road dogs pretty much the entire playoffs, and this year. We've played really well on the road, and hopefully that continues either on Thursday or Friday. We'll see.
All right. You talk about those moments, giving up a big play, and this time on special teams last week. In those moments, I know the emotions must be going high. People are in shock. The home crowd, you're on the road, they're going crazy. In those moments, are those the moments where a coach needs to step up and make sure his players are ready to go to try to finish that football game?
Yeah, we talked about it. It happened right before halftime. So we were up 21-7, gave up that kickoff return, which as a coach, I count that obviously as an explosive play. Even though it's not on offense, it's still an explosive play. And, those kind of things can flip momentum pretty quickly. We go into halftime. We're up 21-14, but the momentum flipped for sure. They had the momentum going in at halftime. So we had to make sure that, our guys understood that, listen, man, we cannot give up big plays like that on the road. We talk about it all the time, but when it actually happens, it is, you immediately have to rally the troops, so to speak, and get the guys back focused on, hey, we have controlled this football game for the most part. They've had they had an explosive play on offense too. So for us, it was like, hey, we cannot give up these explosive plays. We're controlling this football game. Let's go out and be us. And again, our guys did not flinch. That's just the type of kids they are. They're awesome kids. They're very coachable, and those are the moments when you're on the road, right, Mark, and you give up explosive plays like that. Those are the moments when you find out what your team truly is. And we found out that our guys are are guys that are not going to flinch when adversity hits you in the face. When they get knocked down, they're going to get right back up. And that's what we did. We came out of halftime and we had our only 3 and out on offense. We had the big turnover, which should have flipped momentum for us. The big pick I told you about that junior fighter had. We just could not get the momentum back right away. They went down, scored, and tied it up. And we scored 21 unanswered. That just shows you what type of kids we have, man. They never flinched. Our sideline was never down. It was, hey, let's go back and get back out there and do what we do, and let's get the next one. And our kids just, I was so proud of our kids, man. That again, to be on the road playing a great football team like that, and to be in those moments where you're facing that kind of adversity, and to just get right back up and go out and score is it's incredible. And then our defense, man, that last quarter, our defense just shut them down. And everybody kind of rallied, and that's what you got to have, right? You got to have that complimentary football at the end of a football game, and we got that from our kids last week.
All right, wherever this game is played, meaning Thursday, Friday time, we will update you when that happens. Absolutely. All right, let's say 7 o'clock. You got to drive 2.5 hours, whatever it is, to get down there. What time does Coach want to get to the stadium for a 7 o'clock kickoff? I want to hear.
Well, we've been, like I said, man, these last 3 or 4 weeks, it's been crazy, man. The Vipers, we've been road dogs. We went up our final regular season game. We had to go all the way up to Jacksonville and play a team up in Jacksonville, in downtown Jacksonville. Ugh. So that was a hike, right? Then we have our first playoff game at home, so that was nice. We able to relax a little bit for that one. But then last week we go on the road down to Frostproof. That's over a 2-hour drive, and now this week we're going on the road to American Heritage. That's almost a 3-hour drive. So we have handled it. We have handled all 3 of those situations exactly the same. We obviously we got the charter bus and that whole thing going, but we leave school before it gets out. We get about halfway down to where we're going. We stop. We have a team meal at a restaurant. Jacksonville, we stopped at Chick-fil-A. Last week we stopped at Bojangles. This week I think we got Zaxby's on the menu. So we just stop. We get our kids off the bus, let them kind of chill. We have a great food spread set up at those restaurants. We eat. We get some time to just kind of talk and relax a little bit. Get back on the bus, and then it's business time after that.
You tell the restaurant you're coming, right?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? I mean, we had again, we're not just talking about players. We're talking about cheerleaders. We're talking about the works, So, but so far it's been incredible. Both of those restaurants have done an outstanding job of getting us in and out. I mean, listen, it's been flawless. It's crazy. It's like we walk in. They have our meals prepared. Our kids grab the meal. They grab their cup. They go get their drink. I mean, it's really been a flawless thing. This week we hope to have the same. But they're definitely, they know that we're coming. Yeah. I can't imagine a charter bus pulling up at a restaurant and
with all teenagers who are hungry.
Yes. Yeah. 60 people get out of the bus, but we like to get there. We hope to get there. About 5:15. That's usually what's on the itinerary. That's where we like. We want to obviously have some time to get taped and do all that stuff, and then go through our regular pregame routine. And I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to the itinerary and stuff, so we try to stick on it as much as possible. Obviously, sometimes with traffic and stuff, you can't really, you have those moments, and Jacksonville was kind of like that. We obviously ran into some traffic and stuff, but going down to Miami, probably going to be about the same. So we're going to probably add a little bit of time to it, but our players love it. I mean, it's a cool experience to be able to go on the road and travel, especially on the playoffs. I mean, you like to be at home, but it's also kind of cool to get out there and see what else is out there for our kids. And and experience other cities and stuff like that. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, that is. Lots on the line for a chance to go to a state championship game. I want to end with this with you. Okay. I mean, we could talk Bengals all day. All right. I'll get you on to talk Bengals. All right. You got the Bengals logo right behind you. I just want you to know that I have a legitimate question. And it's on the chair as well, the B.
The whole room.
We had that town was great. That was a great experience.
I told you, man. I told you.
You do it all the time. We from Orlando, it was probably we were in there for about an hour and 40 minutes. We got there. It's easy. Yeah. The downtown's really easy to get around. We walked to the stadium. It was, I know that's your team. You love it. I know my team won there in the craziest game. You were there as well. Yes. I think I've ever been to. It was a great experience. I had so much fun in the gym.
I always tell people, Mark, like, Cincinnati is this cool, like, it's this cool city that's all kind of connected. And if you've never been there before, I mean, obviously, Chicago's a great city. One of my best friends lives in Chicago, who I've been to Chicago, great food. I mean, it's an incredible city, but you have to be transported everywhere in Chicago. Cincinnati is this kind of cool city. It's smaller. So if you're anywhere in the downtown area, you can literally walk to wherever you're going. And then obviously, I think we talked about this. You and I talked about this off air, texting back and forth before the game. That whole strip from Paycor, where the Bengals play, to Great American, where the Reds play. It's called the Banks, and it's this awesome strip where you can just walk down, and there's restaurants and all these cool places to hang out. They've done so many great things. It's obviously right on the river. It's just an incredible. It really is an incredible experience. If you've never been to Cincinnati, I have never heard anyone go there and not love it. It's just a great city. It really is.
It is, and the Bengals really mean something to the people of that.
Oh yeah,
it's for real. It's
Joe Burrow. I mean, I always tell people that's the Joe Burrow effect, right? I mean, I've been a fan of this team for 40 plus years, since 1981. So I've been going up there, for decades. The 90s, we call that the lost decade. I mean, we won like 43 games in 10 years. It was horrible. We were the worst team in the NFL. And even going up there for those games and Synergy and Riverfront, there were some bleak times, but the Joe Burrow effect is real. And I'm gonna tell you, man, you go up there now, even when Joe's not playing, he has still brought this atmosphere to the city and to the Bengals organization that is just unmatched. It's incredible. Listen, the Reds are the same way. Opening day for the Reds up there, I'm a big Cincinnati Reds fan too. Opening day for the Reds is they shut down the entire city. I mean, businesses close, people get off work. It's insane. The city is absolutely packed. You can't walk anywhere on opening day. It's a great city, man. I absolutely love it. My wife and I, that's like our home away from home. We love going up there. We have all these cool spots that we love being at. And
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. All right. I'll just say this. So the cool young people, the men, they'll wear the Chase jersey because I think that's, and I get it. Jamar Chase is a stud on the football field. So
he's the best receiver in football, Mark.
Yeah, he's got, so like the young guys in their 20s, they got the one. The women, they're wearing number 9. Okay. Yeah. This is Joe Burrow in that town is never going to be like, man, I can't find a date for Friday night. Every woman is ready to have his baby ready. But that, let me tell you, people get into fights with me over this. I'm like, look, Joe Flacco is a Hall of Famer. I don't care anymore. That guy is scary.
Listen, man, I said this on our Bengals pod. When free agency period was going on, I said the Bengals need to find a way to get Joe Flacco, and because listen, let me tell you, that guy at 40 years old is still better than 60% of the quarterbacks in the NFL. He can spin it. He can make every throw. He's so poised in the pocket. His pocket presence is like nothing I have seen from a quarterback ever. I mean, doing what he's doing at 40 years old is absolutely insane. And you're right. I mean, you would have to show me an incredible argument to not put that guy in the Hall of Fame. You really, I mean, I'm not saying first time ballot, but that dude he has been successful. He's been successful throughout his career. And there's a reason for it, man. He is truly elite. He is an elite quarterback still at 40 years old. It's absolutely insane. Now,
you know who needs him? You know who wish they signed him? Is the Steelers wish they had him, because the 40-year-old quarterback they have is not playing well. All right.
No.
Like that.
And that's who we play this Sunday. So they're going to get another taste of Joe Flacco this Sunday.
Oh, I know.
But you know, obviously it comes down to defense. It did last year. I mean, the Bengals, you know, Joe Burrow, you had Jamar Chase, first of all, was you know, what he did last year was absolutely insane. You know, he got the trifecta, which has only happened, I think, 5 other times, you know, for a receiver. Joe Burrow, legitimately, if they make the playoffs, he's probably 1 or 2 for the MVP race. He had the best quarterback season of anyone last year, and they went 9-8 because they lost 4 games where they scored 35 plus points, you know, and this year you see the same thing. You know, I mean, these last 2 games, the Bengals have scored 80 points. They lost 39-38 to the Jets, 47-42 to the Bears. You know, and those, this is not me trying to take a shot at the Bears, but I would say those are 2 teams that you would, as the Bengals, you would consider a win, at home especially. You cannot do that in the NFL. It doesn't matter how good your quarterback is, how good your offense is, if your defense cannot make stops. You saw it live, Mark. That's what I've been watching for the last 2 years. I've been watching that defense for the last 2 years, where it's like, man, if they cause a punt, the stadium erupts. It's a shame. It's a shame that, you know, the Bengals right now are wasting the talent. They have the best offense in the NFL right now, and they are wasting the talent on the offensive side of the ball because they just cannot get it right defensively.
What's interesting is, I mean, you coach high school football. You watch the NFL. You've done the multiple levels. You've seen it. Dude, I try explaining this to people, but I think you and me are blood brothers for this. We were both at that stadium 2 weeks ago. I saw everything that could possibly happen in one football. A kickoff return for a touchdown, an onside kick, a Philly special, interception, fumble, sacks, anything that's possible. Again, onside kick for going both ways. Joe Flacco throws for 470 yards, right? Caleb Williams had 2 catches in the games. You'll never get a game like that ever again. It
was crazy. It was crazy. You know, as a Bengal fan, you know, I just like I talk about the standard with the Vipers, like the standard for the Bengals to me is if you don't make the playoffs and you're not competing for a Super Bowl with the talent you have, you have Jamar Chase, the Triple Crown winner last year at receiver. Again, that's never done. That's unheard of. You have I'll argue he's the best receiver in the NFL. You could argue Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the NFL. You have one of the top 3 pass rushers in the NFL. If you are not competing for a Super Bowl every year, there is serious problems. So yes, it was an exciting game, but to me, it you know, a lot of times I'll look at it as a coach instead of a fan, and for me, you know, it's not good enough being in games like that. This team has got to start winning football games. This could be the third year in a row the Bengals don't make the playoffs, and they have 3 of the top 10 players in the NFL, you could argue. In the NFL, with Trey Hendrickson, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow, That's not good.
Your second wide receiver would be a number one on any other team.
Okay? T. Higgins, when he was up for, his contract is up, we franchise tagged him again this past year. People, a lot of Bengal fans were like, "Oh, let's just try to get some for him." And I stood on my soapbox. People don't realize how good T. Higgins is. You said it. To me, again, this is. I get called a homer a lot as a Bengal fan, but I'm just telling you, Mark, T. Higgins is a top 10 receiver in the NFL. He's probably right around 9 or 10, but I would find it hard pressed if you go through all 32 teams in the NFL that you could find 25 teams that have a better number one than T. Higgins. It would be hard pressed. T. Higgins is so good. If we win that Super Bowl in 21-22, he's probably the MVP of it. Him or Logan Wilson. So, T. Higgins, this is not just a thing. He does it every year. He is consistently one of the best receivers in the NFL. And again, there you go. I mean, T. Higgins is probably a top 25 player in the NFL. So you could easily say the Bengals have 4 of the top 20, 25 players in the NFL. Going 9-8, 8-9, that's not good, man. That is a serious problem when this team is.
I get, Coach. I get it. You tasted the Super Bowl with a young quarterback, and you're thinking, well, we're going to go to 3 or 4 of these.
You are thinking that,
and you're the only. So we were driving to the hotel from the airport, and I learned you fly into Kentucky. This is one of those things you don't know at first. So,
but the airport is Cincinnati Airport, but you actually fly into Kentucky. Yes.
Hey, the Melbourne airport is what? The Orlando Melbourne airport?
Yeah, I know.
I don't. So we were talking to our Uber driver, big Bengals guy. So I was telling him, I was like, look, in the last decade, who's the only one who's beaten the stupid Kansas City Chiefs? It's Tom Brady twice, where he did it once with New England and then once in the Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. And then it's you guys. And you should have won the second one in Arrowhead. You were right there. And they called that BS pushing Mahomes out of bounds, which is you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Terrible. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
that's it. This whole run. That's all it is.
And that was in that 22 team we had in the AFC Championship, the game you're talking about. That might have been an even more talented team than in 21 when we went to the Super Bowl. But the Bengals had an opportunity there at the end of that game. I don't know if you remember or not, but we got the ball back with about 3 minutes left. Chris Jones just absolutely took over the game, kind of like Aaron Donald did in the Super Bowl, which I actually was there live, sitting through watching that, which was heartbreaking. But Chris Jones kind of took over the second half of that game and made it very difficult. That interior pass rush, that Bengal offensive line, obviously not very good those couple years. And then obviously the Joseph Osai late hit. I use that in quotes because late hits on Patrick Mahomes is a completely different late hit than on any other quarterback in the NFL. Obviously, but that you're right though. I mean, you look at quarterbacks like Dan Marino, right? He goes early on in his career, and he never tasted again. Same kind of situation. He had this incredible offense. Again, I've been watching football for a long time, so you have this incredible offense and no defense, and those are the kind of things that worry you as a fan when you see that there's not complementary football being played at any level, right? At high school, in college, in the NFL. If you don't have the ability to play complementary football at any level in football, you are not going to win. It doesn't matter how good one side of the ball is over the other. You have to be able to play that complementary football. And the Bengals haven't been able to do that the last couple of years. And again, to me, this is my thing is I'm big on accountability, right? And I don't see anybody being held accountable for it, and it just makes me nuts. I'm talking about, for the Bengals. we're just seeing the same thing over and over every week, which, a lot of people would call insanity.
I'll just say this to you. It was awesome beating you. I'm sorry we went 35 minutes.
Listen, I saw Alan sent me. I didn't see it live. Alan sent me.
You see this right here?
Alan sent me the video video of your show, and I was in tears. That was good quality stuff. I love that. Listen, that's part of being a true fan, right? Is you got to be able to laugh at things like that sometimes, because again, we as diehard fans of teams, we put our hearts and souls in these teams, and as a Bears fan, it's continuous. It seems like
it's all right. I talk about this all the time. It's the only consistent thing in our lives. I tell this to my brother, right? I joke. It's like I'm trying to be serious, but it comes off as a joke. It's like, look, money comes and goes. Friends come and go, which is sad to say. Fads, movies, pop culture. Your team is always there to disappoint you constantly. Always. And that's why the Patriots fans, they've been bad for 5 years. Now they're like, oh, we've suffered enough. Now we're going to dominate it. You had dominated for 20 straight years.
I know.
Okay.
And you what drives me crazy, Mark, is fans of teams like that, which again, a lot of those fans aren't fans the whole time, if you get my drift. But a lot of fans of teams like that, they do not understand, right? They do not they don't understand how good they had it in those years, right? Those Patriot fans and the Chiefs fans now, like they just don't understand how good they had it being consistently that good all those years, especially as Bengals and Bears fans, where we're just like, please give us something to be happy about.
Throw me a bone, as
Dr.
would say. You know what's funny about the Chiefs? Because we're around the same age. I remember growing up in the 90s and the 2000s, they'd be in the playoffs, and then Marty Schottenheimer, they get their heart ripped out every single time.
Yeah, Christian Okoye. Remember Christian Okoye and
Nigerian
Barry Ward, right? Barry Ward and Christian Okoye. Remember those two running backs for the Chiefs? Oh my God.
Yeah, and
they were so nasty.
And remember that first Super Bowl they went in 1920. So I was there in Miami Beach. All the fans were there. Hey, we're happy to be here. We haven't been in the Super Bowl in 50 years. Yay! They didn't understand they were going to become a dynasty. They had no idea at that moment. They did. So I will just let you know I had a great time, but I didn't believe.
I'm glad to hear that.
I didn't believe yet. On Sunday, when Jackson Dart got injured, because it's his own problem, and Russell Wilson came in, and I call him the corpse of Russell Wilson because I don't know what that is anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they came back. I think the flame inside of my heart, wait a minute. It's been dead since the double doink? It's been dead inside?
The double doink.
And maybe the flame. I still have never recovered since 2010 when Jay Cutler got injured in the NFC Championship game against the Packers. That was worse than the Super Bowl. It's been 15 years. I know. All right. 18 double doink, 2020 pandemic year. We made it. That didn't count. We were the 7th seed. No. Yeah. So the flame, I know we'll get killed by Minnesota, but the flame, it might start burning again. And I know you feel that way with your team.
Oh yeah. I honestly, I felt that way when Joe Flacco, that Steelers game 3 or 4 weeks ago, I felt it again. One of my closest friends is also a big Bears fan, and we talk all the time, and we were all roommates together, me and Andy and my friend Omesh that I'm talking about right now. And Omesh is a huge Bears fan, and he talks about that Jay Cutler moment all the time. But we both, we're like there to lean on each other on Sundays.
It's like we're cousins.
I know, right?
Hey, and I told my dad, I was like, oh, everyone's very nice here. And then I'm thinking, if we were the Steelers, there'd be no like, oh, thanks for coming. Yeah, have a great no. I know you hate them. I know you hate them all your heart.
I know, yes, 100%. And I think the one thing too about the Bears is, you think about their organization over the years, very similar to the Bengals, right? Not very good at drafting. Listen, the Bengals, obviously Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, those were like lottery picks. I mean, anybody could have made those picks, right? I mean, Joe Burrow played on, just like Jamar Chase, the best college football team in the history of college football. That LSU team was absolutely disgusting. So those were easy picks, right? But the Bengals have struggled. Really struggled in drafting and evaluating talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Listen, the Bengals have used 9 or 10 quality picks, like top 100 picks on this defense, and it's still not right. It hasn't been right since they let Jesse Bates go to the Falcons. Once Jesse Bates left, they've been trying to replace him, and it's just been awful ever since. But I look at the Bears, very comparable. The Bears, look at all the opportunities the Bears had of drafting good quarterbacks, right? Especially Patrick Mahomes. That draft, I know that will live in infamy for Bears fans, but you easily could have had Patrick Mahomes. Instead, I won't speak on who you drafted, but
see, I would have taken. Here's the thing with that. I said, hey, we'll go 1 minute on this. Now we've gone 20. I have no problem. I like this. If they would have taken Deshaun Watson, I would have lived with that. That would have been a good pick. Now, we know what Watson's like now.
Yeah.
But like at the time, if Watson went to a real organization and that's why it's a woulda, coulda, shoulda. I could have.
And early on in his career, too. I mean, you look at Deshaun Watson early on in his career,
I'll just say this. I'm very proud of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, where I think what he's done for a guy that looked like he might have been out of the league, a guy from Cocoa, Florida, out of the league, signed with the Ravens, then they let him go. Dude, I'm so proud of him.
Yeah. I had a coach against him in high school. I had a coach against him. He was
it's the nightmares coming together.
He was an incredible high school football player. Incredible. I mean, he was one of those generational guys in high school, and it doesn't surprise me the success he's had in the NFL. Obviously he's bounced around a little bit, but hopefully he is sturdy now and concrete up there in Chicago, and finds his career again, because he's very talented. He is a heck of a football player.
Okay. I've been wanting to ask this question to you for a couple weeks, and then I will let you go. I know you're busy. You got practice this afternoon.
Yes.
Get ready. We're here with Space Coast head football coach. Yes, Jake Owens. Also, if you couldn't tell, gigantic Bengals fan on the side.
Just a little.
You switched to the SSAA, right? Mm-hmm. So this is something new. There are teams that joined this year in our county, like Satellite, the Scorps.
Mm-hmm.
What is your advice then? This is year 2 for you. What are your thoughts on this, where this is now a norm for high school football in the state of Florida?
Yeah, so I cannot take credit for switching to. They had already switched before I had gotten a job, but the SSA is growing. It's growing quickly. I think you look at everything that's happened, even these last couple months with the FHSAA. They're trying to find their way. They're now trying to compete a little bit with the SSAA, because the SSAA basically took all of what aggravates people about the FHSAA. The SSA basically took those things and said, all right, we're going to do something different. And I think there's good things about both, but we've been very happy with the SSAA. It's growing quickly. Like I said, I think already since the regular season ended, I think we've added 4 or 5 more teams. I mean, people are jumping very quickly, because again, for one reason or another, I think there's a lot of people out there that don't understand really how the FHSAA figures out playoff teams. And, you have a lot of teams that maybe are deserving that are sitting at home. And you have some teams maybe that aren't deserving that are playing in the playoffs right now. It's and the SSA, the way they have done things these last couple of years has been outstanding. Last year they split us into two. That's why we had the two state championships, and now this year they've combined us all together, which we were all very excited about. Everybody, coming up with a true state champion, and so that's been exciting. And the no preseason game, I'm a huge fan of. The SSA, it still goes by quality of wins. It still goes by strength of schedule. There's still a lot of factors that are the same, but you get to make your own schedule. We're going to be ramping up ours next year and trying to get some more Brevard County teams on our schedule. And, so it's nice. You can work your schedule out the way you want it, and, still go out and find great opponents. And, it's interesting now that you have these two sanctioned conferences. It's always been the FHSAA for decades. They've kind of had that monopoly on the state of Florida. And now this SSA thing, man, they're doing things the right way. It's growing fast. There's well over 100 teams right now in that are members of the SSA, and there's more joining every single day. So, it's been a great experience for our kids. I'll just say it how it is. We're one of the only teams in this county that legitimately can compete for a state championship every single year. I mean, that's the way it is. The stats don't lie. So, being able for our players to look forward to competing for a state championship every year, realistically, has done wonders for our program. And it's awesome, man. We get to playoff time and it's exciting. It's competitive. It's just been outstanding, in the FHSA, I don't know what will happen with all of that and everything that's going on these last couple of weeks. I just put my head down and coach my guys and worry about who our opponent is every week. But we've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed it. Like I said, it's growing every year, and it's going to be, SSA is going to be around for a long time. And obviously the more it grows, I'm sure, the more other things will branch out from the SSA as well. So it's been a great experience for us, but I can't take credit. They had already joined before I became head coach, but these last 2 years, it's been great.
Great answer. He's Jake Owens. His Vipers are getting ready. They got a big game coming up later this week against, just to make sure I do this right, American Heritage. Time, place, universe, we will figure that out. We will let you know. Coach, great conversation, and good luck to your Vipers later this week, all right?
Mark, thanks for having me, man. Love being on the show. You do a great job, and anytime, man. Anytime we come on here and talk ball, you just let me know.